Well, as we all know, Tracy McGrady has gone full-blown turncoat on his once close ally and friend Kobe Bryant, losing his mind and suggesting that he, T-Mac, would have won championships with Shaq in LA in the same fashion that Kobe Bryant did while making an appearance on ESPN, the worldwide leader in Kobe slander.
Replace me with Kobe with Shaq. I don't win a championship. You don't think I could carry the Lakers to a championship? Like, I've never had the opportunity.
Correct.
I felt like if I was put in that position to win a championship, I damn sure would show up and do what I do in the playoffs.
Now, not surprisingly, McGrady was joined on set in that appearance by Gilbert Arenas while making those comments. Agent Zero, the hibachi, of course, who is one of the foremost slanderers of the late, great Kobe Bryant. And like McGrady, Gil once fancied himself a big Kobe guy. But look, it isn't hard to figure out what is happening here. These two have flipped for the money.
Look, we just want the money.
They have their hands in the old cookie jar, and Clutch Sports is writing checks. So it comes as little surprise that the two Clutch Sports LeBron James sycophants would team up again within the last week on Gilbert's platform, Gil's Arena, to continue whacking around Kobe Bryant's legacy like it's a piñata. And of course, it was the topic the two of them are obsessed most with, finding a way to simultaneously impugn Kobe's legacy while uplifting LeBron's. And surprise, surprise, it all comes back to, well, Shaq, Phil Jackson, and now the triangle offense of all things.
But if we take Bron, who he is now, with the athleticism, speed and everything, agility, and put him in that triangle, learning that, I think we're talking about, I don't think it's a question.
Yeah, you couldn't.
I don't think there's a question who the greatest player would be.
And bonus points and a bonus check probably from Clutch for T-Mac here for managing to throw shade at both Kobe and Michael Jordan with this one.
Show me the money!
McGrady is uplifting LeBron as if he was some kind of basketball mastermind and savant, and that Kobe needed the triangle.
But when you look at Bron and you look at Kobe, Bron is the system. Mm-hmm. Do we agree with that?
Yep.
Bron is the system. Kobe played in a system.
Mm-hmm.
He posed the questions and painted it in the light that LeBron would have been more successful, and it actually blew even Gil's mind.
Do you think if Bron played in a system like the triangle and Kobe was the system, do they have the same type of success individually?
And look, this is, as with most of these types of conversations in the Lord's year of 2025, pure revisionary nonsense, suggesting that Kobe couldn't play like LeBron outside of the context of a system.
And Kobe can't be, he could beat a system, but he won't win. Is that what we said?
But that LeBron would have been even better within the system that made, hell, forced you to sacrifice your own individual stats. A guy so utterly obsessed with the box score and counting statistics that he has erected his entire GOAT case around it would be all good, with sacrificing to that degree is utterly hilarious. Of course, though, while Kobe showed he could easily lead the league in scoring while freelancing outside of any systems, a point that even McGrady and Gil conceded. They also stipulated that while Kobe may well have led the league in scoring every year if he wanted to outside of the triangle, he likely couldn't have won anything.
Every team he's won with, he's been in a triangle.
Of course, they are using the minuscule sample size of teammates he had post-Shaq trade and pre-Gasol acquisition when he was playing with a roster of guys like Kwame Brown, Smush Parker, Brian Cook, Chris Mim, and Luke Walton. Guys who cumulatively throughout their entire NBA lifetimes never once made a single All-Star team or All-NBA designation. not once, not ever, not between every single player in his top 9-man rotation for a 2-year span. But yes, let's hold that up as the reason why Kobe wouldn't have been able to win titles in a system built completely around him and his offensive skill set. LeBron, on the other hand, according to these two stooges, would have just started winning even sooner.
All this extra moving he does will have elevated his passing. And then when he decided to go, you can't stop him, right? So it'll help him become a winner faster.
Of course, all of this assumes that LeBron not only would have been able to make the aforementioned statistical sacrifices, but also that he would have been able to acquire the kind of skills needed to thrive in the triangle offense, namely shooting and footwork, moving without the ball. And old T-Mac hilariously suggested that it would have made LeBron develop those skills even faster.
Here's what I say to this. If Bron got introduced to the triangle at an early age,
That's different.
Bron would have expanded his game
I was about to say, that would be different. Then.
tremendously.
Yeah.
And yeah, because he still hasn't developed those skills in 23 years. Here is coincidentally footage of the self-proclaimed king breaking literally every outside shot he attempted while recently in China for his Forever King Nike tour. This guy is shooting sub 37% for his career outside of 4 feet from the basket, but he would have magically developed that more quickly in the triangle. Got it. And that, of course, with all of his driving lanes reduced. Oh, and another thing here, LeBron has throughout his career thrived in transition and in getting into and generating the offense as quickly as possible while he can exploit mismatches. But here is Carmelo Anthony talking about why the triangle offense failed in New York.
No, we can't slow it down when we got a fast break. We can't play in the 2-guard front when we got Derrick Rose and Raymond Felton. Like you can't do that. You can't put Derrick Rose up there in the 2-guard front. That's just not his game. Like we need D Rose up and down the court. That's where you see guys wasn't comfortable in that situation. I was one of them, but
slowing the game down. He wasn't comfortable with it. Almost as if it wasn't necessarily easy to do. Kind of like not just anyone can do it.
I was talking to Kobe all the time just about the triangle and just how to do things. I would call MJ and just get little pointers on him on how to play the triangle. But it was very hard because it wasn't hard to learn it. It was hard to execute it.
Carmelo, by the way, was no slouch in his own right, as he is currently sitting at 10th all-time on the NBA's all-time scoring list, as he finished his career about 300 points behind Shaquille O'Neal. Oh, there was also the pesky little admission here by McGrady that LeBron would have been forced into being the closer within this triangle offense.
Because it puts, you have to be the closer in this in the triangle, and it gives you the clearance.
This, though, is something McGrady was confident LeBron could do, despite the fact James has shot just 8 of 29 throughout his career in the NBA Finals during clutch time, defined as the final 2 minutes of a one-score game. That's just 27.5%, and his teams, as a consequence in those games, have gone just 10 and 11. And that is why LeBron is such a loser when it matters most, sporting that 4-6 finals record. Conversely, Kobe Bryant shot 10 of 20 in the finals during those same clutch moments, which was good for 50% from the field, while his teams went 11-5 in those such games, resulting in his 5-2 finals record. T-Mac and Gil just don't realize there are levels to this shit. But then again, why are we listening to this blathering idiot about anything?
So if Bron is able to play in a system and be able to be the system, and one can't be the system, but he could be in a system, who's the best basketball player?
A guy who, mind you, never once won a single playoff series when he was actually actively playing on a roster. Yes, alas, poor T-Mac was just 19-31 in his entire postseason career. And you know what? I'll be damned. That record looks eerily similar to a certain someone's career NBA Finals record, which currently stands at just 22-33. Now, as for the triangle offense itself, of course, it is generally credited to Phil Jackson, but that really isn't the case at all. It was originated by Sam Barry at the University of Southern California circa the 1930s. Tex Winter later learned the offense while playing under Barry in 1946 and 1947. Winter then later refined the system in his own right while acting as the head coach at Kansas State, and he, of course, was a longtime assistant of Phil Jackson from 1985 through 2004 in both Chicago and Los Angeles. And according to Phil Jackson, look, it isn't rocket science.
It's not rocket science. That's Red Holzman used to say that all the time. This is not rocket science.
But there was an acknowledgement that this system isn't necessarily applicable to every player, particularly in today's era.
A lot of players don't have, per se, the skills, as you alluded to play in a system of offense that requires a skill.
But yes, sure, Tracy, LeBron would be the GOAT if he played in this system.
You take Bron, who he is now, with the athleticism, speed and everything, agility, and put him in that triangle, learning that, I think we're talking about, I don't think it's a question.
Yeah, you couldn't.
I don't think there's a question who the greatest player would be.
And all it would have required was for him to all of a sudden develop footwork, shooting, and the ability to play without the ball, etc. All things he hasn't done in 23 years now and counting. Guys, many thanks as always for tuning in, and if you did enjoy this video, perhaps you might like to see more on Tracy McGrady's descent into clutch sports madness in this video right here. And as always, please do make sure you are subscribed with notifications turned on for more from me. Until next time, guys.